Good morning, this is Kim Bellissimo for Nature Connected. And today we are going to take a little walk through the redwood forest here in Mill Valley. And later this week I am going up to Oregon where the big redwoods are. So along the coast of California we find these magnificent redwoods. And it's so important to get connected into trees, especially now, because with all of the Wi-Fi, with all of these interfering kind of energetic fields, you may feel your health even being depleted, or where it's extremely hard to set space. So this is why I just want you to even connect with me on this little journey this morning. This morning in Nature Connected, we are just going to walk along the path, and I want to show you my home and where you can, and by doing so, I get all these calls, and by doing so, you could start to connect to your essential nature. It is when we are in the midst of the redwoods that we can then absorb kind of nature and understand, more importantly, our nature. So let's just begin by even saying hello to the sky, connecting into the sun. I don't know if you can see, right through the trees. And as I got this thing. So we're gonna walk along our path and connect to the sun. As you lift up your hearts and open your hearts to the light. And as we connect to the light, you're gonna hear all these kids in the background playing outside, which is great. So open your heart and allow your heart to receive the light so that you can stand upright. And as you connect your heart down into the ground, like your roots dropping into the earth, you could start to stabilize and give birth to your dreams, to bring them into reality. Notice that when you have an idea or when you have something that you want to bring through, if you get swept away by anxiety or fear, or it's like a wave or a tidal wave of energy coming in and through, that many times, it's like anxiety comes up, and it is when you can really drop your roots into the ground, which will stabilize you. A lot of people are experiencing leg issues, hip issues, because our world has changed. And with the magnetic fields and the Wi-Fi, it's very hard for us to define our fields. And the only way to do that is to ground, focus within on the heart. And this creates a bubble around you. And that bubble then is how we set our space. So just walk with me as I show you these beautiful redwood trees. And as we are moving in the space, nature is amazing, because the moment you walk in nature, you start to feel a flow. You start to feel a connection with the surrounding environment. Oh, look at these kids. It's so funny. I'm in this huge park, and every time I do these sessions, all the kids come. So this is a great space to play in. And I just want to have you look at this beautiful tree right here. Look at this magnificent tree. I don't know if you can see it. I have this thing and it's kind of going all over the place. Beautiful tree. And as this is like a sculpture or a piece of art. And it's right in the center of all the redwoods, this circle of redwoods. It's kind of like when we break or when we fall or when we have something in our lives where we feel broken, where we are having a hard time, that if we can create a circle around us, then we can, oh, look at, we're playing hide and go seek. Oh, here we go. Right in the middle of it.
3-4, 3-5, 3-6, 3-7, 3-9, 3.
He isn't that funny? He is going right to the redwood tree that we are around. I am going to show you the big, huge redwood circle. In this redwood circle over here, it is one of the biggest groves that there is. I don't know how this nature connected class is going to be working today, or if you can hear me, but we just go with the flow. And in going with the flow, we just create. It's about play and creativity. And here we go. Here is a beautiful circle, a redwood tree grove. And in this circle is where we place our dreams. Hi, everyone. As we're just getting started, we just started to take you on a walk. And as we did, there was a group of kids playing hide and go seek. So today I wanted to talk about how you can set your field up, your energy field, because I don't know if you're aware, but we are all bombarded by all of these energy fields that collapse our field. It wasn't that way, and especially with 5G. It's kind of where and this is why too, your field, your space, when you place your heart or your attention within your heart, it creates this beautiful bubble around you, like the redwood trees. The redwood trees grow in a circle, and we grow in a circle. So when you are focused in your heart, what happens is that the circle, your bubble, expands around you. And if you can even walk into calling, everyone wants to come into this space. So if you walk into a store, or if you are around people, this is very important to practice. And we're just going to practice this in nature, since we are in an environment that is reflecting kind of our internal nature. So as you place your attention within your heart and just focus on your breath, what that does is it expands. We talked about it expanding your bubble like that hot air balloon. And it creates a field 3.5 feet on each side around you. So it's like 6 feet. This is kind of the distance we're supposed to have with one another. And by creating this distance, and I'm just standing right now in the center of a redwood grove. And let's see, here is connecting to the sun. So if we set our space in the day, we connect to the sun. And as we connect to the sun, we allow the sun to fill us up with the light. And then we connect to the ground. And as you connect to the ground, what happens is the earth fills you up with the light, kind of with the fire in the planet. And as those two energies connect into your heart, this creates what we are made of. We are made of the stars, we are made of the earth. And allow those to mix within your heart. And as those mix, it creates this bubble around you. And it's actually, just even by saying, fill me up with the gold light, fill me up with your earth energy. As soon as it hits the heart, it expands in this bubble around you. And as that expands, it defines your field. And at the edge of your field, at the edge of your space, I want you to set it at a color today. Maybe set it at green. And I always add a little gold. Set it at blue. Set it at, I see people are setting it at different things. Set it at even an orange color, an orange red. And as you set the edge of your space, that defines your field. It's very important now, and we're all having to learn how to set our fields, because with the bombardment of kind of the Wi-Fi and all these energy fields, think of it as waves. All these energy fields move into these environments and they'll collapse our field right away. This is where you can feel filled with energy and you walk into a space and then you get exhausted. It is because of the competing energy fields. I'm just looking at the kids playing hide and seek. The competing energy fields. And so our heart, what our heart can do is it can cancel energy fields and it can create an energy field. And now we all must create an energy field. So how do you do that? You connect up, you fill up with spirit, you fill up with the gold light, the living light, you fill up with the earth, and you focus inward on your heart. And the moment you do that, it expands out around you so you could touch. Even if you place your arms out, you can touch the edge of your space. And then place a color at the edge of your space. Maybe let's place electric blue now to define our field. I want you to go through your day-to-day defining your field. Watch the miracles that happen if you define your field, because then you won't collapse into anyone else's space. And you'll be seen. Your true spirit will be seen and heard. When I work with people, a lot of times where maybe they are depleted, they're exhausted, it is because other bombarding energy fields have the tide has moved into their bubble. They're filled up with other energy, and then they get exhausted, fatigued, anxious. Anytime that you have anxiety, know that it is not your energy in your space. So what do? We unplug kind of our heart. Like a bathtub, you unplug it, you drain out the energy that is not yours, you fill up with the gold light, you fill up with the energy of the earth. And just like in nature, this is why when you're in nature and just connected to nature, and even if you look at look at this beautiful tree. Okay, I'm trying to use this little thing I have here. Look at this amazing tree in this circle. As you are connected to nature, looking at nature, observing nature, observe yourself. The redwood trees are so ancient. They have so much wisdom. And they tell us that our energy creates in a circle. And it is in this circle, this bubble, this is their bubble around them. They create this bubble, and in the center of their circle is space. And you can imagine redwood trees all around you. That is your family. It's kind of like holding you, supporting you. And imagine these redwood trees lined up, keeping you stable, supported, secure. And in the center of the circle, it's like the heart is the center. It's space. It's empty space. The heart connects the negative and positive. It connects our future and past in the now. It connects the above and below. And in that space, this is what I call the diamond of the heart. It's empty. It's space. And imagine the circle of redwood trees around us holding space for us. Allow nature to hold space, because when you are in nature, the bombardment of these magnetic fields or Wi-Fi, you can't feel it. You start to remember what it feels like to be connected, to be grounded, and how many of us and how easy is it to just stay in our homes, even though we are supposed to stay in our homes. But it's so important for your health, for your growth, for you to get out in nature or go out in your backyard and sit under a tree. Move your attention up to the light and fill up with the gold. Fill up with the sun so that you can grow like these trees and allow that energy to come in to your heart and move down to the ground. And as you come back into your heart, set your intention. Set your intention. Even if you don't know what your intention is, we are on the waning side of the moon. That means you know what you don't want. You know what's showing up. And maybe you've been foggy. Maybe you've been unclear. Is it hard to motivate? Have you been procrastinating? Procrastination, I see, isn't because you're lazy. It's because you don't have your energy in the body. And in order for us to have energy, to be creative, to thrive, we go out in nature. We follow nature, we ground, we connect. We move our attention in our hearts and just turn your attention in your heart. And as you do, see empty space. See the now. See the void. This space is the space. It's like the center of the circle of redwood trees. There is magic in that space. And feel held by the circle of the redwood trees. Allow the redwood trees to support you, to hold space. And within the center of emptiness, where there is no thought, where if you move your attention into your heart, it is pure emptiness, pure space. And in that space, there is magic for you to create. Within that space, just place a color that represents your intention. And if you don't know what your intention is, you know what you don't want. So go to the opposite of what you don't want. Maybe you don't want to be exhausted, to be overwhelmed. So to go to the opposite, you want to be filled with energy, with creativity. Now go into the center. And in that space, empty your mind, empty everything, so that you don't even have an intention. You are pure emptiness. And in that emptiness, allow spirit and the planet to create something with you. PP. Who's PP? Maybe he's got to go PP. That's one way of grounding. Emptying out. All right, he's looking for people in the woods. There's nothing more magical than hiding in the woods. Hello. And playing in the woods. And because when you are in this space, magic starts to happen. Your creativity starts to ignite. Songs start to come through. A client of mine was telling me, I was telling him, go out in the woods, keep walking every day. And then he said that all of a sudden the story came through and he's been writing it ever since. And so when we start to create new stories, when we create something that just comes through us without any thought, what that is creating with spirit, creating and bringing new stories into this reality. Because right now, we need to create a new story. We need to create it with imagination. And with that imagination, something new can be born. So the tool I want you to be working this week is imagine these redwood trees around you in a circle. and have them hold space for you. And holding space, then what happens is that you can expand in that space. And in the center of that circle, there's emptiness. So decide, what is my intention? State your intention. I want to be healthy, or I want abundance. I want to receive. If you don't know your intention, that's kind of the right side, or in front of you. It's kind of, here's what I want. And if you don't know your intention, identify what you don't want. I don't want to be depleted, to feel overwhelmed, to feel exhausted. And then go to the opposite. So I want to feel healthy and fulfilled, and filled with the energy, filled with creativity. Those are two opposing sides. And it's never about one side or the other. It's never about the positive or negative. But where you're going is you're going into center space, and that is the space of the heart. Center space is the space where there's emptiness, where there's no thought. So you define the edges of the space. And in that center space, there is, people are texting, there is emptiness. And sorry, people are calling. It is within that emptiness then that a new reality is born. So I invite you today to co-create with me, with Mother Earth, who always gives birth, with Spirit. And that birth and that connection is in the heart. And in that heart, be in that emptiness and allow that energy to fill you, to fill your bubble, and set the edge of your space to define your field. Because with all of the energy fields, the bombardment of energy fields, your field will collapse if your heart isn't moving energy out. See, when we're filled up, what happens is that wave energy moves out and expands. And then we have that edge. That way we won't collapse no matter who will walk into a room, or if we're even listening to TV. That energy field can collapse us, and then we can start to match that field. So it is very important that you win the matching game, that your energy field is so strong that it is filled up with the energy from above and below, that in being filled up, you are living your true purpose here and now. And when you walk into a space, I always say at the edge of your space, kind of put a symbol like a diamond. What that diamond will do is that diamond, it is a protector. It's like a shield. It keeps our energy moving back and forth, so our energy doesn't deplete and move out. If too much of our energy moves out, we disappear, and then we get filled up with whatever energy we're in the space around. And so that diamond also reflects people's energy back at them, so we don't absorb their energy and become them. Oh, isn't this funny? It's kind of like, I think here's the here's the garbage can. Here is the trash people. And so every time we're grounding here, they come. So it's a good time to just release and ground. And so have a wonderful week. On Thursday, I am going to be doing Energy Works, and I'm going to be on the road. So hopefully I'll be in Eureka by that time. And I'm going to be doing it wherever I stop. So join me at 1 o'clock, probably in Eureka, while I'm going up to Oregon to camp in the redwood trees. And these are the trees you drive through. And all along this coast, be connected to the trees and their wisdom and information, because this is the only space where you can have the freedom and where you can experience your nature, because we are forgetting our nature with the bombardment of all these energy fields that can collapse us in one moment. So to fill up and to bring in your energy. Hi. Here we go. See, think of that, hear that rolling sound? That's what I think when I ground, rolling a ball out. He's going to get the garbage. So take any garbage in your life and ground it. So have an amazing day, and so much love to everyone. And I will see you soon. If you need a session, especially before Thursday, call me. And all kinds of changes are coming in and through. All the updates from the eclipse are in. And all right, have a great day.